Monday, everybody, and welcome back to Brown Bag Bets. Powered by BETSPERTS, we are your daily dose of quick hit handicapping and sports betting picks. I'm Alex Christenson, and joining me as always, Mr. Andy Molitor. What kind of hat you got on there today? I see the orange bill. What's above?
Giants. This is a
Come on.
Buster Posey commemorative hat that I got in like 2019 when I went there for a game when Buster Posey was on the DL. So it wasn't even in the game. It was an enjoyable day. I got sunburned in San Francisco somehow. That was a weird day because it was also cold while I was out there. But fun day, and yeah, I ride with the Giants. I know some people with way bigger numbers than I, but I'm still a Giants guy. It's going to pay for it'll pay for more than just my.
Not yet. We're not there yet.
No, but I need it because I bet the Phillies, and I need it to pay for my Phillies blunder. The Braves are a big favorite right now. So, we didn't have a lot to bet yesterday. Obviously, I had some golf, just kind of getting ready for golf. You went 2-2 in tennis. That's okay.
Especially given what we picked, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, 500 is 500. I suppose 500 is better when the two wins were what? Plus 340 and 7-1?
Yeah, 7-1. Got it done. Prop. Two straight sets.
Only just got the shit kicked out of her, which whatever. Like if you get one is fine. Honestly, getting one
out of two ain't bad.
Getting one, not even in straight sets, would have paid for everything. So, no, beautiful day on the tennis courts with a lady I've never heard of in first name to be determined Ruse.
Elena Gabriela Ruse.
That's a pretty name. I like her already. So we'll have some more tennis today, but yeah, not a lot of bets yesterday. We light, even if we wanted to bet baseball, it's been light. I suppose you just bet on the Cardinals every day. Bet on the Cardinals to trash talk Fangraphs and bet on the Cardinals to win, and they're in the playoffs now. So yes, go Giants. I keep pointing the wrong side of my hat. The SF is over here. This is a super ugly hat. Actually gave it to my kid. He put a sticker on it that says "kind of a big deal," and it's a pickle. I can't get the sticker. I can't get the sticker off, but I stole it from him today. He had to wear a stupid Raiders hat to school.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sanderson Farms tomorrow. We'll start with that. I played some matchups. I'll probably put out a little blog. You know, it's not real golf season, but this is technically it's a real tour event. Like it's actually a thing. It's the swing around season, and we're in the NFL, and a lot of people don't go down to Jackson, Mississippi to play golf, but there are some decent names here and some guys I like. Some people I've bet. Seamus Power was a maiden winner on the tour this year who I was able to get. I remember on the drive home I was up in Minneapolis for some reason, on the drive home tracking the JT Poston falling apart and getting me the win there. So I've had him as an outright as well, but a couple of my outrights and some matchups. Mito Pereira over Siwoo Kim. Siwoo Kim most likely can't putt, and his approach game has been pretty trash, not finding greens. He'll be there with the first shot. He'll be on the fairway from there. I think it's probably going to be a disaster. I like Mito quite a bit. Seamus, obviously another one I backed in the outrights. Not as great as Mito in certain parts of his game, but obviously he's won on tour. I think he's a little undervalued for his price, and taking him against Ortiz, again, a guy whose putting can be a little suspect and also isn't really great around the greens either. So if he's not finding greens in regulations, he could fall apart. My third one is, I'm going to have to look. I forgot. Oh, Wallace over here. Matt Wallace. This is further down. There's some love for Herbert in the markets. His outright price at Chris bounced up a little. I'm not sure what people are seeing. Maybe I'm dead wrong. But his like longer term form kind of sucks. He has been better of late. But I mean, long-term putting, long-term approach game, I mean, putting in general have been kind of sketchy. He's played well, a little better later in the summer here. But at this price, I'm more than happy to take Matt Wallace, who's not – it's not like somebody I'd even back top 20, I think. He's just kind of a steady Eddie, middle-of-the-pack guy that I expect to be you know, around, and Herbert definitely a risk to miss the cut here. So back to normal events. No more Ryder Cups, no more – BMW East Lake shit where we have 30 people, or the Olympics, confusing, like just 156 guys and a cut line, nice normal stuff. I actually can't speak. I think it's actually a slightly smaller field. It might be like 140 here this week. So 3 matchups. I'll probably blog something out. I'll do some daily matchups, find some top 20, some props and other stuff too.
Did you look at any post Ryder Cup fades? Is there anybody in the Ryder Cup who's in this, or played in the Ryder Cup, who's in this event this week? I saw our buddy D Money was fading Sergio a little bit. Anybody else maybe? And did you think about that at all?
I didn't. I like that one. I don't mind that at all, the Sergio fade. He is the defending champ, so his number's probably a little bit pushed up anyway. I think he might be the only one coming from Ryder Cup and heading down here. I'm pretty sure Charlie Hoffman didn't make the team. Yeah, I'm just kind of spinning through. I'm not sure there was anybody else that traveled from Milwaukee down south. So that might be your only chance. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But yeah, Alpha Barnrat. He's just not from a country that gets to go to the Ryder Cup. We need more of those.
No,
we need a
Cup.
South African. Yeah, we need a South Africa versus Europe one now too. I just love all the South Africans. So, no, yeah, if you are buying into the fade, Sergio, like we said, our guy Dwayne D Money, he has a 3-1 Sergio to miss the cut. A few other Sergio fade bets. I don't hate those at all.
No, I like that quite a bit. I love a fade. I love a travel fade.
Oh, for sure. We got any of those 7-1 winners today, or what are we doing?
Unfortunately, no. It's a little bit vanilla today, Andy. After the big underdogs and the 2-0s yesterday, I didn't really see anything that I liked from that perspective. But 2 favorites I liked, putting them together here. We'll start with Teresa Martinkova or Martinsova. It's always hard for me to tell. Again, someone we back quite a bit. One of my favorite players on hard courts. She's playing Tamara Zidansek here. Zidansek, a very solid player. I've actually seen a couple sharp people come in on her late at a number now that, she's up to like plus 115, plus 120. But I have Martinsova like minus 140, minus 150 in this match. So right around minus 135 or so in the market now. You can put her together with Teichmann to get plus 160. Teichmann, I believe, right around minus 190 or so. Have her out closer to like minus 225, almost 250 if I tweak some stuff for recent form against Magda Linette. Happy to put both of them together. These do get underway shortly. They are on court after matches that are finishing up shortly. Should be finishing up. These probably start in the next 15 to 30 minutes if I had to guess. So apologies for the late notice, but that's all we got today. Again, there's more matches this afternoon. There's a handful of big favorites. Jessie Pegula is a big favorite, Andy, but we like backing her, not really going against her. Thought about maybe fading Vika Azarenka, but, she's kind of had a tough season and I think is locked in to win some points. And I wouldn't hate a bet on Amanda Anisimova, except we found out that somebody else is betting her that you generally don't want to back. So a lot of counteracting forces today, and this is what we're left with.
Yeah. We're fine with just taking it easy. Take it easy here. And then somebody in the chat did mention that I missed this. The graphic said round 1. Those are full tournament bets for the golf. There must have been. I'm going to have to talk to the courier who ran my information down to the graphics department, or the courier who ran that from graphics over to production. One of those guys.
Responsible parties will be sacked.
Yeah, sacked, deducted. Christmas pay's gone. Thanksgiving they're working.
Demerits all around.
Yeah, no. So just to be clear, they are full tournament ones. So because I did mention the cut, so good call, Giorgio. We'll I'll make sure I'm more clear with that, because sometimes on Wednesdays I do round 1 plays. I just haven't had a time to dig into that. I'll probably do that this afternoon. The NFL resumes tomorrow. I've bet like 5 sides already. I am heavy on the sides. I'm starting to dig into totals now. Something weird is like totals have not gone well for me this year. But I bet live quite a bit, and it's for smaller stakes for sure, but I have done very, very well on those. So that bothers me that I can't win these pregame side or totals, but once I'm doing it live, it just clicks. So maybe I'll have to tweet. And of course I don't tweet any of that out, so I don't get any credit. I could just be lying. You don't know. You don't know me. You don't know my life, but like it does suck. Like, well, everything I put out there publicly is doing halfway, mediocre, and then this is just crushing, because that's how life works in the media game. But yeah, was teaser week. Like we mentioned, every single basic strategy teaser pretty much got there last week. Some of the ones I was the most afraid of were like Minnesota +8. They won outright. It's funny how that works out, but same kind of thing this week. Cincinnati, New Orleans, Kansas City, Tennessee, possibly we see something with Tampa Bay over New England crossing that. You get all those teams in that 7.5 range. If they're sitting in the 7.5, 8.5 range, you take a 6-point teaser. It goes through the 7. It goes through the 3. You get -1.5, -2, -2.5. Those are all buttes. I'll probably be using Cincinnati. Of all the ones, I'm probably the most scared of using maybe Kansas City or Tennessee, just because I think the narrative around Kansas City is so bright, and the Tennessee probably a little overrated after last week. But the inverse is also, possible and usable and, accurately a Wong or basic strategy teaser there is when you can go from the 1.5 to 2.5 up through 3 and 7 with an underdog like Atlanta, Detroit, Indianapolis, Minnesota, and Seattle. Those are nice ones too. My favorite of those probably being Detroit, because I do have Detroit bet already. Yeah. Indy has sketched me out a little. Minnesota, I'm already fading. I have bet the Browns, so I hate being on both sides of one, but that's not a bad leg either. A home team with an offense doesn't hurt, but Seattle +2.5, maybe. Seattle and Detroit probably my favorite too, even though I'm a little cooler on Seattle. So let me know if you have a hot teaser for me. And I'll be placing like 3-4 of these. I'll have them out. No worries. I'll have some stuff out. But yeah.
Do you ever remember being this many? This seems like a lot more. I mean, because we had, I think it was last week.
2 weeks in a row.
We had like 4. It was 2 weeks ago, right? 2 weeks ago we had 4 or 5.
Last week.
I think it was last week. Sorry.
Week.
2 weeks ago we had none.
Nothing.
Right, and then last week there was like 5 or 6. I mean, I can't remember. What have we got? 9 here, almost 10.
Yeah, it is strange to have this many falling in here. So have fun with it. Pick your favorite ones. Get some fun teasers out there. And it's not even just like, yeah, I have fun with these. Like there's empirical evidence showing that if you play these right and you maybe take the totals into account and also use your own handicapping and common sense, these are plus EV moves.
It's like you said, crossing the 3 and the 7. They're going to charge you the same for 6 points, whether it's going from 0 to 6, 10 to 16, 20 to 26. So to get the most value out of that, you want to cross 3, you want to cross 7, and now 4, right? Those are basically your big 3 numbers. And there happens to be enough value there. Again, what is the line? -110? Can we get away at 15? I know -120, it gets a little wonky.
-120, there's still a slight advantage. Anything past that is bad. So try to find yourself a book that gets.
Check your prices, because some of those teaser prices you get hosed.
Yeah, I literally bet only teasers at one book because they have 110, and I feel like and it's an awful book. I would never use it otherwise. I won't mention them just because I feel bad just ragging on somebody. But it's a bad UI and everything else about it's bad, but they have cheap teasers, so I do use them there. Basketball this weekend. I know you've done some podcasts with I should say his real name. Yeah, Matt
Moore at Hardwood Paroxysm. Hardwood Paroxysm, yeah. If you know him. One of the busiest Twitter handles. Tons of stuff coming out from him. But you had some fun talking about conferences and stuff. We did the East, we did the West, touched on everybody, shared some of the stuff that I've already talked about on the show, but we were in line with this one. And this is something we talked about. Maybe next week I'll get to this one. There was a total I had, and you can hear me talk about it actually on the West Coast pod, but I got a little scared off by it. It's moved. For some reason, someone's betting a certain team. Anyway, I'm still trying to figure that out. But we do have a total this week. And yes, we're stacking Memphis Grizzlies stuff. I got a ton of Grizzlies optimism. I look at this team. Ja Morant, I think, had not necessarily the season we expected him to have last year, but didn't get credit, I think, for managing and playing through some injuries. I expect with a full offseason, well, not a full offseason, but a solid offseason. Again, the Grizzlies didn't make it too far in the playoffs, so he had an extra couple weeks to get healthy. His shot should be better. Overall, the Grizzlies, I think, did get a little better. There are some people that are concerned about Jonas Valanciunas leaving, but I think from a big picture perspective, to get this Grizzlies team to be the best version of themselves, you need to push Valanciunas out so you can get Jaren Jackson minutes, so you get Brandon Clark minutes. Even somebody like Xavier Tillman, I think, is going to be coming in here. And you bring in a guy like Steven Adams, who, as he gets older and the game starts to change, he does become less and less relevant, but he is someone who I don't believe is really going to be too uncomfortable or too upset taking a role on the bench, kind of leading these young guys and teaching them how to put things together. Now you take a step back, you look at the Western Conference. Overall, I think the Western Conference is weaker than it was last year. The top end still okay. You've got the Lakers up there, but everybody else kind of compresses a little bit. And, talked about the offseason. It was a shortened offseason. And again, we're stacking a shortened offseason over a shortened offseason over 2 bad seasons. I don't think that we're kind of over the hump, if you will, of the impact of all that stuff from injury perspective. I think we're still going to see teams struggle. And this Grizzlies team is 10, 11 guys deep from a talent perspective. They really do a nice job building the team. The GMs and things have done a great job putting it together there. And we have the depth that you've seen with teams that kind of overachieved. You go back and look at teams from last year, the Utah Jazz, the Phoenix Suns, a team like the Knicks, teams that have nice depth, which is exactly what we have here. So we're going to go over 41.5 wins, which means they have to be a 500 team. And then I also like them to make the playoffs. We're going to stack a few things here on top, and I know you like that. To make the playoffs, plus 150, poke around. There is one particular bookmaker that may have a lot of skins in the legal markets that has this one. It's right around plus 110, plus 120 elsewhere. Poke around. I'm sure you can find something closer to that plus 150, but I think that they're a good, solid team to make the playoffs. Not only to make the playoffs, but I think that they can sneak into the top 6 of the West, maybe steal that 6th seed and avoid the play-in scenario. But we saw them navigate that last year anyway. And then you look at the Southwest Division. Last year, a lot of us had Dallas Mavericks tickets. And you look at the Dallas Mavericks and kind of think about what they did. They go from Rick Carlisle, who is generally considered to be one of the better coaches in the NBA, to Jason Kidd, who is considered to be a frankly terrible coach and someone who struggled really to get jobs. The difference between a good coach and a bad coach in the NBA makes a huge difference. You stack that on top of the fact that the roster itself is pretty thin. You start to listen to some of the stuff that Kid's talking about trying to get Kristaps Porzingis to post up more and to shoot more mid-range jumpers. Not only things that are bad ideas in general, but if you go and look at Mr. Porzingis' career, those are not the spots in which he is best suited. So we already see some of the whispers of Kid kind of sneaking in here. I am more than happy to fade this team. Thinking about maybe an under, but I don't want to go against Luka Doncic, but they're like minus 200 to minus 300, depending on where you look to win this division, which is just outrageous to me. I mean, if you have a couple of weeks of Luka Doncic being out, this team is really, really going to struggle. Again, the coaching stuff, all that. You circle back to the Grizzlies, a team that I expect to get better, to kind of take the next step forward as a young team. They're going to be there to take advantage. To me, they should be, I understand why Dallas is the favorite, but I would have them maybe like minus 150 or so. And then, Memphis a lot closer. So at plus 400 or better, and you can find some better numbers. It's a 425, even a 440 out there if you look hard enough, like them as well. So Memphis Grizzlies fans, Andy, I'm going to have to get myself a Grizzlies hat.
It's a good logo.
It is. They do a nice job with the bear.
I'm down to the end and just got 440. That was an old Chrysler engine too. That got me revved up. Just to be clear, because I'm a little dumber when it comes to NBA betting, and the rules have become different. I just want to make sure everyone's clear on this. When you are betting to make the playoffs in general, that means you must be one of the 8 teams once the normal bracket starts. Making a play-in game doesn't count for this. Is that in general, or is that pretty standard for everywhere?
It's pretty standard, but I've heard, and I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard of a couple books that are opening up to make the play-in scenario odds, which actually means you're 7, 8, 9, or 10 or something. So just look around and be sure. But if you're looking at the odds, yes, no, to make the playoffs, it's pretty much standard everywhere that is to be one of the final 8. You're either a top 6 team and avoid the play-in scenario, or you're one of the 2 teams that make it out of the play-in scenario. Okay.
I just wanted to double check so I know, and anyone who's watching. And somebody thanked you for Ruse yesterday. You're welcome, Lake Show Magazine. Not from me. Pleasure. I mean, you're welcome from Alex. I had no part in it. I just posted a funny Star Trek: The Next Generation GIF.
I was actually watching Star Trek yesterday morning too, so it's a lot of things coming together. We're vibing, Andy. We're vibing.
Really, really vibing. We'll close it with, and thanks to the sponsor Wynn Bet for Win Total Wednesday. Our DFS sponsor PrizePicks. I'm going to tell you not to sign up today. Like, not really. Like, I want you to sign up, but maybe like if you are a new user, honestly, we're probably going to have a promo tomorrow. Like, you can get signed up, but actually, you know what? Sign up, because new users are going to get a promo tomorrow either way. Like, there's going to be a decent Thursday night promo. There always is something fun. And actually, if you're a soccer person, There is
Champions
UCL.
League.
Yeah, there is UCL stuff going on in the PrizePicks.
Take some of that, put it with some
I did some
baseball.
frisbee golf. So yeah, if you want to get involved today, for sure. But definitely, yeah, get signed up and get it on your phone. Get your deposit match, because tomorrow there will be some fun promos for Thursday Night Football. And I'll have an entry tomorrow. We'll let you know what we have, and we'll let you know what we have for the weekend once we get to Friday. And with that, Alex and Andy out. Gonna go yell at a courier.